All right, guys, welcome to another day of retiring in Japan. It's the 6th day of February 2025, and Yumiko is doing some stuff. She's at a 100 yen store, like a dollar store, getting some stuff, and at the drugstore. I'm over at the house. We're pretty much, she and I are entering into a schedule, like 9 o'clock start time, and we're on our way. I'm taking off these curtain things that are hanging over these windows here. That were for privacy and maybe for shade in the winter. We're going to repurpose those temporarily on the second floor around the balcony so that the dogs can't stick their heads too far out between the railing. We'll try that out as a temporary solution. In other news, on the retirement fund, I'm really surprised. I feel ambushed by the sensation that I had, the sensation that's been rising in me of disconnected from my life purpose, my decided life purpose, which has been to be a worker bee for the last 40 years. I'm astonished at how deep that goes and how much frustration that has engendered. I'm also getting feedback from a lot of people that this is normal, this is something that retired people face. I'm 2 months in, I would say that 7 weeks in, 2 weeks of honeymoon, being initially retired of just perfect bliss. I would say by the next 2 weeks we're normalizing. I thought I was settling into a routine. Next 2 weeks after that into the 6-week period, starting to feel something was missing. And then here I am 2 months in, and I'm definitely struggling with being retired. It's such a strange thing to think about. And as I told Yumiko today when we were over breakfast, I don't think that this is normal for humans. Humans, the way normally we get old is we just do less of whatever it is we were doing. If we were farmers, we just farm less. You know, where our family expects less of our time out in the fields. If you read that wonderful story, The Good Earth, right, and it talks about that life of that Chinese farmer, and where the old man that would just sit, his thing was to sit on the stoop outside. He was relieved of all of his duties, yet he still felt a part of it. That's the way I think humans are meant or made, or we have developed to grow old. We're not relinquishing our purpose outright, but giving it up slowly. This wholesale saying you're done, clocking out for the last time, and here's your retirement watch, and off you go. As much as it is a blessing for any of us that can do that, it's not an easy thing. And boy, I'm not going to carry on like it's not hard for me, because I want to be just sort of a clarion call to others to watch out. And I'll share with you as I go. Yesterday was a tough day, and Yumiko put me on warning. She said, Kurt, you need to get on top of this. She's not struggling with it, and I think she's got her hands full with her father, but I'm struggling with it, and I'm going to work on it, and I'll keep you guys posted. But for now, that stuff's coming down. There we go. Wow, well, that was exciting. I went to place my camera in a nice spot here, and my feet went ankle deep into this sludge in this gutter. Now, this is a gutter that collects water from this rice field. Our property remains bone dry, but for some reason it collects. Well, I know why it collects there. It collects there because it drains off of this field. It's all completely clogged in. I'm going to get out there one of these days and I'll clean all that out to help with that drain. But man, I just got a nice sloshy. Yikes. I'll go wash that off. I want to share another thought that I have just doing that right now, just finishing that bit of work. When you're watching these videos, if you're from some other country watching me do this here in Japan, and you're thinking about doing the same thing yourself, I remember doing the same thing that you're doing now, sitting on my sofa at dinner time, eating after a hard day's of work, looking at somebody in Japan, maybe a foreigner, in doing the thing that I wanted to do, which is DIY. Work on their own home that they bought in Japan. It's a good thing. But I'll tell you this, it's every bit as real and tactile here doing this on the other side of the camera as it is for you doing what you're doing now on your side of the camera, in terms of both the challenge, the opportunity, that my fingers are numb with cold, my joints are sore as I'm doing that, as I'm piling up the cloth. I'm going, what the hell am I going to do with this now? And my feet are wet and cold from stepping in the mud. So it's just the same. It's just that I'm on the other side of the screen. Hi guys, lunchtime is over. Yumiko brought a really nice lunch for us, and we had a really good talk. Talked in addition more about the unfolding challenge of finding our place. I've been going on, it's all I talk about now, huh? But it's a big deal, and I want to share it because I think others might experience it as well. I'm definitely repeating myself, so I'll stop doing that. So I'm walking the dogs now. Yumiko's back at the house working on the kitchen. We're dividing up the days now by D's. At noon, she takes care of Dad, I take care of dogs. And then after this, after I get them back, after they have finished their walk, I will take a load, hopefully two, to the dump of the non-burnable items. Yumiko finished her sorting about the stuff that she wants to keep, and I think we're in good shape with that. The day progresses and the thinking folds. All right, I've stopped the car again to capture a thought, an emerging thought, a developing thought from the thought of the last 2 days, that the challenge that I'm having now in retirement I was describing it before as two things. One, missing my job. Two, missing my country, and particularly the activity, the vibrancy of Southern California. I think it's a little more different now. I'm listening to another podcast, this time with it's a technical podcast episode explaining how AI transformer architecture works, basically explaining the DeepSeek model and how they used multiple experts, nomenclature about it. And I was listening, trying to follow along, and I was realizing that the relatively young, 30-something man who was explaining this was like a runner, and I'm running along trying to keep up, and he's not only just outpacing me, he's way ahead of me, and I almost can't hear him anymore. And I suddenly realized, oh, it's Kurt, it's not just that you stopped your career, and it's not just that you're not in California, it's that I've grown beyond my prime for everything, right? I know this is going to sound like another me lamenting my age, and it may come across that way, but I don't think that's what it is. I think this is a reality check. You know, I am old, and I am at the end of my career, and my capabilities, both physical and mental, are on a decline. Sure, there are those cases you can pick examples and say there's this, that, and the other person who were in their prime into their 70s or the 80s or whatever, and I acknowledge that I'm not one of those. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try my best, but now it understands what maybe where a little bit of the emotion comes from, because it's like feeling yourself becoming irrelevant to the point. And the reason that helped, I was just coming down, another thought that brought that around. I'm just driving to the dump, and as I was going, there's a little retirement home. It's like an apartment building that's been converted into a retirement complex. There's that many old people here. They're just, putting them wherever they can now. And it's a good managed place. I mean, they have good people tending to them. And there was an old man walking slowly up the street with a nurse by his side, getting a little sun and air and exercise. And he looked, maybe, I give him 10 years on me, 70 at most. He certainly didn't look like he was over 70, but who knows? Anyway, his eye caught mine as I was driving past, and there was a flash of recognition, and I saw in his eyes also, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, a resignation. Like he was beyond the other side of this thing that I'm feeling right now, which is like I'm realizing that my prime is over in so many ways, and I haven't reconciled myself to that. He was reconciled to it, and I realized I'll get there eventually. It doesn't mean my life is over, but it does mean a significant part of my life is over, and I have to let that go. But now I have to go to the dump. Well, the day's almost done. Almost 5 o'clock. Just before 5, I can hear the temple bell. The temple just on the other side of the hill there. They gong at about 5 minutes before the hour. And the usual 5 o'clock chime rings through the community. It's been another good and productive day. And eventful. We'll leave it at that. We're just wrapped up the day. It's 5 o'clock. Every day at 5 o'clock here in Japan, all throughout Japan, I think it's simultaneous everywhere. There's a chime that sounds, and we can almost hear it. It's a little distant, but the better sound is there's a temple just over the hill here, and I can hear the gong if I'm on the balcony. It's time to go home.
As soon as we stop moving, it's cold.
It is. As soon as you stop moving, it gets cold. So we're going to celebrate the fact that it's some day of the week.
The jacket is cold.
Do you have any idea? Is it Wednesday?
Thursday.
Okay. We're going to
Trash day.
Oh, right. We're going to celebrate Trash Day by going and having sushi tonight for dinner. So we'll go home and feed the boys, and then we'll go clean up a little bit, and then go get some sushi, and then we'll walk the dogs and bear ourselves out in the cold. You did great. This kitchen is coming together nicely. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
And we're home. Hi, boys. Hi, boys.
Hi, baby. Hi,
And there's Mount Fuji. Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
It's not really coming through, but there's a subtle pink, pale pink on the face of Fuji. Boy, if you could put that color on a girl's lipstick, that would be a good color.
What do you know about girls' lips?
I just know girls like pale pink. Let's clean up and go have dinner. Yeah, you want dinner too, huh? Let's go. On our way to the sushi place, we stopped off at the Kinds to get dog food. Loading up on stuff. I still just can't get over how cheap it is. 128 yen per can of the wet stuff. Very good price. And we're talking about our rooms, what we're going to do. It's kind of fun to talk about. Yumiko was asking me what my color scheme was, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do anything I want. We've arrived at the all-you-can-eat, well, not all-you-can-eat, 100 yen per plate sushi place, Kaiten Sushi. So, we're going to find our space to sit.
34.
Let's go. Here comes the sushi train, the sushi Shinkansen. So Yumiko's got her unagi, hamachi, sake, salmon there. I've got my tuna mayo, my maguro, and I got hamachi too. Got a cup of tea, and I've got inari. We're ready to go. Wasabi, yep. The conveyor belt isn't running. I imagine that stopped since COVID. Oh, we gotta push the cut button. It sends the Shinkansen back to the station until we order more food. Not too many people here tonight. It's a weeknight. Here comes another delivery. Ooh, we got the takamaki and the cucumbers. Yay! And gotta send it back, Mama. Bye-bye, Mr. Shinkansen. Thank you for the delivery. And now Yumiko ordered a bowl of ramen. Let's see. Oh, that looks good. Don't forget to send the train back.
All right.
Bye. All right, I got some udon coming too. Dawn has arrived. Way the hell over there. Thank you, Mama. Yay. And I'll send it back this time. Goodbye. Now I got a real sushi favorite coming up next. Any good sushi restaurant is, of course, French fries with ketchup. See ya.